Hi everyone. So for last month, we focused on why people buy. As we welcome a new month, it's the month of May, I would like for us to work on our KPIs and help you get there by sharing with you 4 strategies that I thought would be very useful for your sales, whether you are doing face-to-face, telemarketing, cold calling, B2B, B2C, whatever you're selling, join us in today's session. So I want to break down to you 4 strategies that I thought would be very useful in your selling, in your sales skills, and overall your confidence as a salesperson. So of course, without saying, it's already Q2. What happened to your Q1? What have you achieved? How far are you? How close are you? And with all this global economic situation we are facing right now, we even need to work harder or work smarter in order for us to still be able to meet our KPIs. And if you're ready, let's go. Let's get into the top 4 strategies that I want to share with you today. So first, let's establish the fact that the focus for Q2 is your negotiation skill, your ability to close the sale, your ability to present yourself, and all those elements. Now, 4 components or strategies I want to share with you. Number 1, selling the strength of you and your product. So what does that mean? Selling the strength of you as a salesperson and your product. Basically, when you talk about strength of a package or of the product you're selling, you are looking at, number 1, the most competitive element or criteria is the pricing. Before people buy, before even they give you an opportunity to pitch to them, there's already an underlying desire for them to know, how much is it for me? How much do I need to spend? And we all do that as buyers. A lot of times we don't want to meet the salesperson unless we really know what they're selling. And number 2, how much are we looking at? So identifying the strength of your product, let's start with the pricing. To justify the price of your product, it could be expensive to some, it could be reasonable to others. It could be affordable for me, it could be extremely unaffordable for another client. But the bottom line here is to know that your product, the pricing of your product, has its own strength is by simply being able to enumerate the strength behind your product. So let's just say, yes, you have to spend $5,000 for a year's subscription of this IT software. However, let's just say, for example, there is the transferability element, meaning to say your entire department can really use this particular software. Number 2, low or zero maintenance. We like to buy something where we don't have to do a lot of maintenance, if possible, zero maintenance. That could be a strength in your product that would justify the pricing. Another strength could be the accessibility. Can I access that product if I am in Asia, in America, in Europe, in Australia? Is it only local or is it also worldwide or global? So these are examples. You know your product more than I do. These are examples for you to take into consideration in order for you to pitch on the price of your product if it appears to be a little bit more unaffordable to your client. So identify those 4 things that I've shared with you. It has worked for me. Believe me, Selling is not so difficult. It's very simple. But at the same time, we have to do a lot of work to get to that sale. Like I always say, selling is not easy, but it's simple. So we identify obviously the strength of the product. What about you? What are your strengths as a salesperson? Being super mindful of your strength as a salesperson really goes a long way. I know we focus on a lot of things that we're not good at sometimes, but we need to also focus on the things we're very, very good at, especially as salespeople. So, identifying your strength as a salesperson. Is it face-to-face selling? Are you more effective on face-to-face selling? Are you more effective on telemarketing? Are you more effective on corporate sales? Really find what is most effective for you and stick to it. So this is just another example of, if there's so many channels for you to sell, really stick to what you're very, very good at. Now let's go to the next one. Second tip or second strategy I want to share with you is monetize on your strengths. Monetize on your strengths. What does that mean? Okay, basically, you want to remember that people buy because of you. So why you? Because of your added value. You are the added value to the product that you're selling. And by saying that, it simply means it could be your experience, it could be your expertise, it could be your passion, it could be your knowledge about the product that you're selling. That's why when you are dealing with a very experienced salesperson, you can see that that person is 50% selling the product, 50% selling himself. So monetize on it. Don't expect that people will only buy because of your product by itself. It works hand in hand. They buy because of you, they buy because of your product. And I keep saying in many of my sales training videos, people buy because of you. And people don't buy because of you. So monetize on your added value. So a scenario would be, don't be shy, but also don't be arrogant to share your expertise. For example, rather than simplifying your sales pitch by simply saying, oh, Mr. Smith, the function of this product is ... What you want to do is, if you want to insert your expertise on that, for instance, you've been selling this product or you've been in this industry the 2 decades or more, you want to gather your experience in that 2 decades and use that when you want to pitch on that particular functionality. Something in the line of, you know, Mr. Smith, I have encountered so many different products in my 2 decades in this industry, and I find that this particular functionality has never existed before. It's the top of the line. This is something that I wish we had 20 years or 10 years or 5 years ago, and I highly, highly recommend that you take up this opportunity because in my experience, this is the best product, best functionality you'll find in the market. That's just a little role play for me. So basically, it's very hot in Singapore right now. I'm not gonna lie. So basically, that's a simple script. That's your simple way of really showcasing your expertise. Let your expertise be part of your sales pitch. So when I was doing telemarketing for hotel membership, and I did that for a very long period of time, I always make sure that I'm not only selling the product, but I'm also sharing something in the line of You know, Mr. Smith, I have been selling and promoting all the top of the line five-star hotels all over the world, and I find that this is the best product in town because this did not have this, that have, and so on and so forth. So come up with that kind of intro. I'm just giving you a few personal script here, like for you to have an idea, but really make an effort to not just make your presentation simplified, make it more expert-like, make it more natural at the same time. So I like that part. The second part is my favorite, I think. I like them all, but when I was writing my notes, I was so inspired because I thought, okay, wow, that I wish I had a sales trainer back in the day who would actually empower me as a salesperson to think and work this way. I'm not gonna lie. We didn't have access to anything like this before. But we learn from experience, and this is why I'm sharing to you in my channel. So if you're new to my channel, before I get on to the third part, please don't forget to subscribe. I've got huge playlists. This could be useful for you. Right now it's for free. Be part of my channel and use this to your business. All right, now let's go to number 3. Number 3 would be, this is a good one. Third one, study your competitors. Study. When you say study, from the definition of study in the dictionary, it's really understanding everything about your competitors. Not just having a little bit of an idea, but really understanding, studying who are you up and against with. You're already up and against yourself. You already are. Meaning, if you perform really bad on your sales pitch, you lost the sale. So you are competing with yourself already right before you even present. So, study your competitors' strengths. What are the strengths of your competitors? You want to know that, right? You want to know not just what the product is with your competitor, but you want to know, obviously, the strength. You know, what does he have, or what do they have that I don't have, so I can work my way around it. So let's say, for example, how do I elaborate on that? Of course, speaking of elaborate, you want to elaborate on your product. Your product needs to outshine your competitors. Let us start with that. To compete with your competitors, first step, you as a salesperson should be very well versed with your product. You should be very good with your presentation, and you have to really be so effective with your sales presentation. It's not the closing, it's not the convincing part. This is just you presenting your product. Of course, you want to make sure that you would like to be the product to problem solve for your client. That is how you can compete against your competitor. So when you say study your competitor, yes, you want to know their strengths, but at the same time, you also want to make sure that you sell your product, or you sell yourself as a problem solver to your client or to your prospect. And when you do that, obviously it will include so much information. You need to really elaborate as much details on your strength, your product strength, to basically outshine your competitors. Now, knowing your competitor's strength could also be very beneficial for you when you're about to overcome objections. Maybe not as an objection, maybe as a comparison. So you'll encounter clients who'd say, oh, you know, this company this software company is offering me this deal, and this is something I love about their product that I wish you have in your product. So granting that you don't have that exact feature in your product, what you need to do is you need to basically find a way to understand what is it in your product that is equally strong as that strength. And you don't do this studying while you're pitching. You don't say, oh, Mr. Smith, hold on a moment. Let me just go to my gadget and let me check what they're selling and all that. No, you want to be prepared before you see the client. Before you see any of your clients, you want to have an updated competitor analysis report where you actually yourself do that. When I was a telemarketer or a program manager back in the days, when we would have to do the competitor analysis report, which we update every 6 months, I myself prefer to do that myself because I want to see it myself. And back, mind you, during those days, there's no internet, there's no Wi-Fi. Everything is like we have to call the hotel, we have to sneak a call to the office and say, what product do you have? And we pretend we're like a customer and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of work to get the facts back in the day. So now it's a lot easier. It's just time and detailed attention that you need to do when you're doing your competitor analysis report. So that's another thing you need to remember if you want to basically succeed and really be good with your sales for Q2. And finally, number 4. This is a good one too. Mastery in overcoming all sales objections. Mastery. You can't just be a salesperson who would be able to overcome objection on an average level. You have to be the master of that. And there's a reason why. You're trying to overcome the objection. You can't be average in this area, meaning to say you can't just have one way to overcome one objection. Let me give you an example. This is a good one. For example, your client say, let me talk to my wife. Let me consider if this is something we'd like to spend our money on. Let's say you're promoting an insurance plan. You can't just have one way to overcome that objection. You got to have at least 3 different, sophisticated, effective ways to overcome that objection. Because at the end of the day, you need to overcome the objection. And to do that, you have to be convincing. You have to sound smart. You have to sound reasonable. You also have to be objective, and you have to be very, very effective. So mastering, overcoming all sales objection simply means don't just have one solution to every objection. I write a lot of sales script. I've written so many different sales scripts, and I have experimented on so many different ways to overcome every single objection. And I came up with a few ways to overcome one objection, and that build the confidence of your salespeople, knowing that I have more answers. I have more ways to overcome a single sales objection. And so in closing, what I want to share with you is obviously in mastering sales objection, you want to have obviously ideas on how you can integrate the value of the price, the value of the product and the price and the profile of the client you're selling to and the strength of your product, and they all come in one piece. And that one piece would be the formula you need when you're trying to overcome an objection. So let me not overwhelm you there. So what do I mean by that? So let's say the example earlier. I would like to speak to my husband or my wife and see if this is the product that we're going to sign up for. The insurance product or insurance plan. So what you can do there is you want to integrate everything. The profile. What is the weakness? What is the pain point in their profile, in their family profile? What is the pain point in terms of the wife, the children, their whole family who can be part of this insurance plan? Now, you also want to know, since you've done your work, understanding the budget, how much do they spend in their previous insurance program? You make sure you have those datas as well. And of course, the profession. What do they do for living? Is it a single income? Is it a double income in the whole family? So all these nitty gritty parts are so useful when you have to overcome an objection. But that will be for another topic. I have a couple of sales objections videos in my playlist. If this is something that you're more interested to dive in or deep dive in, it's in my playlist. And of course, as I'm starting to get my new sales training materials ready for you for the month of May, this will be one of the topics that I would like to update. And obviously, even if I have done sales objection videos in the past, there's still many ways to improve that. This is exactly what salespeople should be. You can't be just repeating the same method. You can't just be following one sales coach, because just like a lot of professional athletes, they have to hire and change coaches every couple of years, because that's how they get better. So I hope you enjoyed today's training session, and I will see you on the next one. Have a good day, and thanks again for visiting my channel. Bye.